Hello and welcome to Quick Charge. I'm Mikey G, and it's Thursday, July 27th. According to a new survey of 5,000 Model 3 owners, the disapproval of Elon Musk is the top reason that they are selling their cars and going for another brand. Since Elon Musk acquired Twitter, the Tesla CEO has started to voice his opinions rather frequently, and this has resulted in waves of people changing their minds about him. Now, many have suggested that this has a negative impact on Tesla, which is intricately linked to Musk. Bloomberg has released the results of a thorough survey of 5,000 Tesla Model 3 customers, and a lot of it focused on Elon Musk. Amongst the Model 3 owners who sold or replaced their cars for a vehicle from another brand, the publication asked them the top reason, and disapproval of Elon Musk was the top answer, with 21%. However, on the other end of this bit of information, the survey also found that 87% of Model 3 owners are considering a Tesla for their next vehicle. That means it's a fairly small percentage of people who are actually walking away from Tesla overall. The rest of the survey is actually quite glowing for the Model 3, as most owners appear to be very happy about their purchase and how their cars are holding up. Earlier this week, a leaked image from the Tesla shop showed a Cybertruck that was covered in a wrap to make it look like a Ford F-150. But now we get a closer look at that vehicle. The wrap is rather amusing, if not lying in a creepy sort of surrealist imitation, with the angular wheel wells of the Cybertruck being crowned with circular well images, and behind the passenger door, the wrap also highlights the separation between the body-on-frame used in the F-150 and what appears to be a unibody for the Cybertruck. Now, some speculate that Tesla is doing this sheerly for the sake of drawing more attention to the truck, and it looks like it's working. A new report out today details Tesla, the world's leading electric vehicle maker, is gaming the Environmental Protection Agency system to vastly overestimate their vehicle's range. It also says that they are diverting claims from drivers who are seeing as little as half the expected range. The Reuters investigation uncovers a lot of details on the inflated numbers that EV experts have known about for years, charitably calling Tesla's range estimates optimistic. Now, the inflation numbers versus reality is pretty easy for most people to spot. Tesla was fined $2.2 million by the Korea Fair Trade Commission for falsely overstating the range earlier this year. Recurrent, which we've detailed previously for winter range, has put up numbers directly from vehicles on the range of Tesla versus real range. And it's not even close. Even in the summer, the 2021 Model Y, which advertises 326 miles of range, barely hit 250 and averaged closer to 200. Meanwhile, in the winter, even with its octovalve heat pump, owners were seeing ranges that vary from 124 to 235 miles. By the way, Recurrent has been a sponsor of the show, just to keep everybody informed. Jonathan Elfalan, a vehicle testing director of Edmunds, said, quote, "Tesla has gotten really good at exploiting the rule book and maximizing certain points to work in their favor, involving EPA tests." And as the report reads, it says that Tesla feeds its own numbers to the EPA. It reads, quote, "Tesla conducts additional range tests on all of its models. By contrast, many other automakers, including Ford, Mercedes, and Porsche, continue to rely on the EPA's formula to calculate potential range, according to agency data for 2023 models." Now, Reuters also goes into what it calls a diversion team at Tesla, and it cancels service appointments for people who think that there is something wrong with their cars because they don't hit range estimates. Now, that's hardly controversial since the Tesla service centers aren't going to do a whole lot other than give them driving tips. Now, at Electrek, many of us are daily Tesla drivers and, in several cases, owners of more than one Tesla vehicle. Now, although Reuters has a spotty history with stories that run on Tesla with flimsy sources, this one does correlate to many of our personal experiences. Elon Musk says that Tesla's upcoming full self-driving version 12 update is mind-blowing. We've heard that before, so it's kind of hard to get excited. Problem with the full self-driving beta program is that we really don't have a whole lot to track the progress. All we have is the anecdotal opinions of people who use it. So I guess that's the end of the story, but hey, check this out. A company called Tesloid has made a Model Y camping tent. It folds out and fits precisely around the trunk hatch of a Model Y, providing protection from bugs, elements, and giving you a space to call your own on the road. You can save 10% by using the code SUMMER10 at checkout. And if you're curious, yes, it was a sponsored article, but I don't think that sponsorship extends to me at Quick Charge, but I don't know. I just thought I'd put it in there. Ford Motor Company released its second quarter earnings after the market closed, saying, quote, EV adoption will be a little slower than expected. As a result, the automaker is pushing back its 600,000 EV run rate goal until next year. EV sales slipped in the second quarter after Ford's faced downtime at their Mexico plant where the Mustang Mach-E is produced. As a result, the Mach-E sales are down 20% year to date. On the other hand, sales of the electric truck were more than doubled to 4,466 in the second quarter. The electric branch of Ford, called Ford Model E, reported revenue of $1.8 billion in the second quarter, more than doubling from last year. However, operating losses reached a massive $1.08 billion, while operating margins were negative 58.9%. The automaker is now expecting a loss around $4.5 billion for its Model E unit, citing the evolving pricing environment, newer investments, and other costs. The automaker said that it has completed the capacity expansion for the Mustang Mach-E, suggesting that we might see sales pick up at the second half of the year. Furthermore, Ford says that lithium iron phosphate batteries are now offered in the Mustang Mach-E and coming to the Lightning in 2024. So, at least at that point, it should help lower costs. In a recent interview, Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe compared buying an internal combustion engine vehicle to the days of building a horse barn in 1910. Now, regarding the idea of buying a new gas car, he said, quote, "You're buying this thing that absolutely has no future in our society." Now, the CEO went on to say that Rivian's R2 products would help pull indecisive buyers in. Rivian is on a hot streak lately as the EV maker begins to gain better visibility and control over its supply chain. Rivian's R2 series is due out at the beginning of 2026 and will be produced at its second plant in Atlanta. The leader said some of the R1 team members who are already moving to or have moved to the R2 are praising the simplicity. In today's community comment found on YouTube, Charles XM2FR says, "Legacy OEM electric vehicle charging promises are like Tesla full self-driving promises. Coming soon, every year." Yeah, that seems to be par for the course. Companies have a very vested interest in keeping interest on their companies to slowly and slightly push the needle of the stock price. It's the language of the landscape, I suppose. For all these companies banding together to make charging infrastructure, it's not exactly that way because, as far as I know, there's no public company that's going to be heralding this joint venture. But I do know that that is definitely the corporate landscape, and that's where all these people come from. Probably. Most of them. I don't know. They don't hire from me. Nobody's knocking on my door asking if I want to work on the PR firm for a joint venture on charging infrastructure. But if they did, I would say, how did you find me? Thanks for watching Quick Charge. I'm Mikey G, and I hope you have a great day.